door asking these officers to come out. I'll do it again in a second.
But I mean, they can roll that back, right? I guess maybe not.
Yeah. It's a little quieter. Maybe we can get closer. We've been following these protests for a few months now. We've never seen these kind of tactics being used outside of the federal building, where the protesters say that citizens are coming in. They're coming in for their immigration check-in, just a routine check-in, and they believe that these people are being arrested and then they're being deported. There's no confirmation from DHS on this, but this is what the protesters have said to us. These protesters say they're from Portland, and so they're definitely bringing a different approach to the protest than I've seen when I've been out here in the past for these weekly protests. I'm gonna go try to talk with someone, see if someone will talk with me anonymously since she said that they don't want to talk. We'll see.
Kids would put a glow stick on the end of a stick. That way.
don't point the camera to them, but those two over there said they would talk with me anonymously. So can we go with the camera down though?
We're all frontliners, so we're very experienced. We're here in circulating. And we are just a lot of the officers that are actually here actually have brutalized us. They've been brutalized us in Portland, so they go back and forth.
You guys are. You seem to have done like a 24 hour or like what kind of step that needs to happen for that to happen.
I'm not totally sure. I mean, like it's going to be an autonomous movement, so it's going to be like bringing everybody together. There's a lot of different organizations and groups here that are trying to like come out, but they're not really done anything. We're all kind of fighting right now. Portland has started. Like we're on the front lines. We've been on the front lines over the past couple days. So shot at. They use a lot of chemical munitions up there. I still have a bruise and a lot of yeah, I got hit with a stinger bullet, so yeah.
So you were saying like using like narcotics.
Yeah, and they use a lot of chemical munitions and tear gas. And President Trump says he's going to send the federal guard up there. So he said. Get them to also take you like
Okay, I should really connect.
You ready? So we've got a couple of protesters here anonymously speaking with us. And could you tell us why are these new protesters out here from Portland today?
Basically, there's a lot of organizations and groups here that have been trying to work together to make more momentum on the streets, but they have not really made very much progress. So all of us Portland frontliners, we decided to come down to bring our energy and bring our momentum. A lot of the DHS agents that are in there actually have brutalized us up in Portland. So we actually have a lot of connections to the agents down here, and we know how they work. We know who they are. And we think like if we can build kind of like an underground kind of track between LA, Portland, Seattle, and Eugene, we can be very powerful. Already us frontliner protesters have connected all with each other down the coastline. And we're trying to like really take momentum and like make sure we are holding people safe in our communities. And so we believe that being here can start a 24-hour encampment like in Portland. And we're trying to bring more attention because Eugene has a lot of great protesters, but like they're not really making a lot of momentum right now. And like people are actively being kidnapped out of the city day by day. And marginalized communities are deeply affected. So things need to happen now. So we have time. So we decided to come down. And we are experienced with being brutalized. We have experience dealing with DHS agents, SRT, ICE itself. And so we feel like we can help down here.
You all have very different tactics. I see the donuts on the stick and the megaphone and going up to the door, urging the officers to come out. This is a little more intense than what I've seen when I've been out here before. Why are you using these specific tactics?
Do you have any ideas for that?
I think it makes the tactics a little bit stronger, and it makes the thing that we're doing is really in the line of Dr. King of we're being out here, we're being peaceful, we're antagonizing them, and then they come out and they use a bunch of force on us, and people see that, and people see how violent they get with peaceful protesters, just going up and yelling at them through the door through megaphones, what have you, antagonizing them with things on sticks here. So it brings a response that I think that people need to see, because that's what happens when there's enough peaceful protesters out. They use an inordinate amount of force to do things as simple as there are big excuses that they're in Portland at least is that they're clearing the driveway for vehicular traffic. They do that all the time, and the cars are moving through perfectly fine, but they're still hitting people, they're still gassing, they're still using mace and pepper spray. So I think that's what the tactics are really doing, is kind of uh, is kind of showing what DHS is capable of.
And like because of our tactics up in Portland, we've actually been able to get like them their land right permit issue like violated. So we're very close to getting that building taken away. We actually have to take down all the boards on our building. So our the way that we talk to them, the way that we handle their abuse, we're non-violent. Every time they hit us, there's tons of footage of us being hit, tackled to the ground, mace, shot, dragged by our helmets into the buildings. We never use any violence against them.
There's
So-
footage from the Oregonian here by Fedor Zarkin from just a few days ago, I believe from last Wednesday, and you can see very clearly in the video exactly what we're talking about, the inordinate amount of use of force for people who are just peacefully protesting.
They're being investigated, not only for the violence towards protesters, but towards their land use permit.
And on their permit, they've investigated and they've actually had 22 violations.
25.
25? Okay. But they released that, and so they might have their permit pulled because of those violations.
Yes, they've been holding migrants for...
Yeah, they're only allowed to hold them for 12 hours, but they've held people over that 25 times.
Specifically migrants.
Specifically, migrants.
And they can have 4 volts.
And one of the times they held someone for 47 hours with no food, no water, no place to sleep, because since it's technically not a facility for holding, they're not allowed to keep them since they don't have any of those things.
Now, we know that we haven't seen escalation often here, but in Eugene in August, we did have an incident where, you know, some protesters were pushed around. They were blocking a driveway. Without that escalation, why do you feel like it's still necessary to be here in Eugene when the DHS officers have not yet shown as much force?
People are still being actively kidnapped in this city. That an ICE and PDX, we have heavy eyes on that building 24 hours a day. We know the routines, we know their cars, we know the people. That needs to happen here so we can better keep track of our community members. Yeah.
And so today, ultimately, what do you want to see happen before you leave, and how long will you be here?
People have been saying all night, and I agree. I think that's probably what's going to happen, is people are going to be here all night. And I think I'd like to see more. We'd like to see more mobilization from the people in Eugene. There are already people here on the ground protesting very frequently, every Tuesday, I believe it is, which is why we're here now. But we'd like to see something like in Portland where we have, because all that is well and good, the tactics, you know, seeing DHS be brutal to peaceful protesters is certainly, you know, part of the protest, but ultimately what we're doing is we're monitoring how many migrants are coming in and out, who is leaving and going, what are their tactics they're using, what are they doing with, you know, how many migrants are coming in and out. If people will come by and there's like PIRC, Portland Immigrants Rights Council, will give them some counseling before they go into the building and get their stuff done. So we need some mobilization like that. We need organizations like PIRC to help migrants with their legal troubles and to support people while they're coming in and out. We saw somebody try to go into the federal building now, but being blocked by DHS and ICE to pay a ticket, I believe.
We also want them to know we're watching them. We want them to know we have an eye on you guys now. We want them to be held accountable for their actions. We want them to know that Portland people are here. This may bring more people out, hopefully. And like, we are going to hold them 100% accountable for their actions they're doing towards our marginalized community members. And we want them to be scared. We want them to know that, like, eyes are on you now. You can't get away with this shit.
Do local officials have a role in any of this, from your perspective? Local lawmakers?
Local lawmakers? I mean, certainly the whole push to get the ICE's permit revoked in Portland has to be spearheaded by the city council, and the city council has been doing some stuff like that. We've heard some talk from the mayor. He wants to start an investigation on DHS's use of force against protesters. So there's certainly that aspect that is useful and is part of the tactic as well. Is making enough noise so that the city council does wake up and does go, oh, we need to do this, and they have the power to revoke that permit.
This city is way too comfortable right now. We need to make them uncomfortable. Yeah.
Is it safe to say that you're hoping to get some of these officers to come out and engage?
I wouldn't necessarily say hoping. I think the main drive for us today is to get more people mobilized. You want to talk about, the tactics that people use to get them to come out and stuff. That's different. What we're trying to do today is really just organize people together.
And talking to them, letting them know we know who you are. We know a lot of the agents in there. It makes them scared. What they're doing with their jobs is horrible and inhumane and unethical. And that we need them to know we are still watching. Like we know what's happening. So it's all eyes on that.
You said that you've been shot with rubber bullets, maced, all these things.
I'm a frontliner. Yeah.
Why are you so willing to put yourself in danger?
I'm the second generation I'm second generation from Mexico. So my whole dad's side of the family are all immigrants, first generation. So I know that like me putting my body on the line up at ICE is draining their budget and putting the attention on me, on my body. And if I can use my body to protect my family from being deported or from being brutalized, then I will take the blunt force. I'm the youngest person in the family, so I will take that to protect my elders. And I know it effectively. We are keeping them ICE and the MPDX in the building a lot because they're having to have security for that building a lot. So I'm from a brown family and I'm the daughter of an immigrant. So I have a duty to protect my family like they protected me when I was younger. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Try to keep the live going. I mean, no way she's leaving for good because she drove all the way from Seattle. Katie. No. She lives in Seattle? Yes. She lives in the outskirts of Seattle.
So she drives her ass 4 hours each and every night.
Hey, how are you, Billy? For anyone just joining us, we are here at the federal building in Eugene, where Eugene protesters are out here regularly each week protesting because they say that citizens are coming in for routine check-ins with the Department of Homeland Security. And those immigrants, they say, are being removed. They're being arrested and relocated before being deported. This is alleged by these protesters. And so they're out here saying that they are against this. Today is a little bit different. Today, they have some added force with Portland protesters coming down, and their tactics are a lot more intense. They are taunting the Department of Homeland Security officers. They are urging those officers to come out of the building and to engage with them. Now, I'm told that those Portland protesters just told me that they're not wanting to engage and get them to become violent. What they really want is to galvanize Eugene protesters and get them active. And we're going to do another anonymous interview now with one of the organizers here locally. And let me take that back. This person is not an organizer. Let me correct myself. But we're going to interview someone now who has more information on how this came about and why these protesters are gathering here every week and what's going to happen in the future. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about why you've been coming out here every week to week, protesting.
Because I go back to when I was little and I was learning about the Holocaust, and I'd always think if I was living during that time, what would I do? I would hide Jewish people and I would try to keep them safe. And now I feel like we're seeing the same sort of situation. And I have people in my life that are near and dear to me that I've watched come to the U.S. to support their families in Honduras. and I've seen what that money does for those communities, and it's truly not a lot of money, but it really supports entire communities, and they're some of the most kind, caring people, and I think that they should have a right to be here. We're a nation of people who immigrated here over generations, and we stole people's land from them. So if we're on stolen land, no one's illegal, in my opinion.
Now, we've noticed you have scores of people here from Portland. They came down to support. Can you expound on their purpose here and what difference you hope that their being here makes?
Yeah, I think the Portland people are brave as heck. They show up every single day. They gather, and I've been to Portland. I've watched them. They're kind people. They take care of their community. They feed people from the streets. They're the people I'd want to have a community with, and they saw that we were struggling, and they saw that we don't have a lot of support down here at the old federal building in Eugene, and we had a 14-year-old child that was disabled taken from our community 2 weeks ago, and that was enough. And so they came. They said, "We want to come. We want to support you guys. This isn't okay, and we're brave, and we're gonna come and say enough is enough and stand with you."
Correct me if I'm wrong. Make sure I didn't mishear you. You're saying that a 14-year-old was deported?
A 14-year-old disabled child and his father were taken from this building, put into a van, and taken to Tacoma, Washington, to a detention center to be deported. Correct.
And you were explaining to me that there's a reason why all of these people out here have had their faces covered. Can you share that with us again?
Yeah, the system, the state, people who don't agree with our political identities, I suppose, will do things to dox us, to put us in jail, to criminalize us, and so we cover our faces so that they can't do that. It's to keep our families safe.
What do you hope happens today?
I hope that people in Eugene see that. I hope people are more informed of what's going on inside of this building, because I don't think a lot of people understand what's happening out of this building. I hope that people see the bravery and the community support here, and they get their boots on the ground, and they come out here and they stand up against this, because it's our immigrants and our migrants today, but tomorrow it's going to be our transgender friends, it's going to be our unhoused friends, it's going to be our mentally ill friends, it's going to be our smart friends, it's going to be our doctors, it's going to be the people who stand up against a dictator tyrant.
How much longer are you going to be coming out here every week to protest?
Every day until people are not being kidnapped from this building.
Thank you so much.
So I don't know if you guys know who this girl is. Everyone was like, "Get out of here, KK, Katie." Did you hear all that? Katie is an agitator who literally goes into the DHS building in Portland and gets to go up on the roof and take pictures with the agents, and then she reports it back to like her independent news source. And I believe that's where Donald Trump is getting his information, is from her. So she comes out and tries to stir shit with the protesters and like get footage that way. She's an agitator. She's a real agitator who's actually getting paid to agitate. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you have a news card? Do you have a business card?
This is KVAL. This is like one of the groups that I actually work with, like on house books, and they give them like great groups, and so they're the one who's like main.
I know, I recognize that.
Yeah.
I've done protests here before.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Why are they outside of these doors specifically?
I have no idea. They just came here and went right there. I think it's just this is where when some people came a couple weeks ago, they went into the door, and then 7 agents came out with pepper balls and were really aggressive towards like 3 people, and so I think this was just like, let's go there.
Say it again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, what's up with that? Just
They're silly.
yeah.
They're very silly. They
Yeah.
have like a whole bunch of them. They also have a guy that's in Portland that's always dressed as a chicken with a flag. And then they have I don't know, they've got a plethora of these,
Yeah.
and they're just silly. I think when you occupy something for so long, you have to find ways to entertain yourself.
Right.
Because it's majority of the time very boring.
Yeah, if you're out here every day, I would imagine.
Yeah, I've done. We're protesting, right?